Hello everybody and welcome. In this new video we're going to be talking about something very interesting, and that is trauma. So when you Google trauma, here's the first answer you get. It says trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event. Immediately after the event, shock and denial are typical. Longer term reactions include unpredictable emotions, flashbacks, strained relationships, and even physical symptoms such as headaches and nausea. So, we're going to be taking a look at what exactly it is and how is it that it affects us so much, and what we can do about it to heal from that. Now, I'll just explain trauma with a simple example. Imagine you're a kid and you're walking along on a street or something like that, or you're playing with your friends or something, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a bunch of dogs start barking at you and they chase you. Maybe even one of them gets to bite you or something like that. And this will leave a very, most likely, create a phobia of dogs, and from that point forward you will forever be unsure around dogs, or you might, I'm not saying you might be unsure around dogs, or you might go into a full-blown panic mode, who knows. And this is just an example. There are many issues or many topics, in fact literally everything, anything and everything can be an event, or anything and everything can be a source of trauma for us, right? It can be, a lot of people are afraid of swimming, a lot of people are simple things like afraid to cross the road, right? And a lot of people have a lot of physical symptoms associated with it. Like for example, a lot of people feel that they cannot drive, or they cannot ride a two-wheeler, or they cannot do XYZ things because of some reason. And the reason they always say is, okay, something like this happened or something like that, right? So let's go a bit deeper into this and figure out with the dog example, or swimming is another classic example of people being afraid. I was afraid of swimming. So when I used to swim, what used to happen was, as soon as I would put my head underwater, I would lose complete control of my breathing. The only way I was able to swim was by holding my breath, and you cannot swim for very long holding your breath, and that's not a good idea. Anyway, so what exactly is trauma? So as you remember from what I read, trauma seems to be an emotional response. So what happens is, you encounter a situation, some weird and unpredictable event occurs, and that causes harm to you in some way. Now, when this happens, the lesson you learn from that event, which enabled you to survive that event, gets absorbed into your nervous system, right? So as a kid, if you were attacked by a dog and you went into a state of panic, you started to shout and scream and just be afraid, and somebody came and they chased the dogs away, right? Now that behavior enabled you to survive, and that gets encoded into your nervous system. This happens for any event. It need not actually even be traumatic. Whatever helps you solve the problem which you are facing, it's a very, very high likelihood that will get encoded into your nervous system. For example, everybody has their own way of writing exams. You know this. If you have written exams, you might be one of those people who might study throughout the year and might be totally relaxed during the exams, or you might be studying all night just before the day of the exam, or you might start 2 months before the exam and prepare well for it, etc., etc. Everybody has got a particular way of handling stressful situations in their life. and these get absorbed into our nervous system and they become the automated behavior with which we go through life. It's not even going to be your choice to behave that way. This will simply happen automatically. Right? If you were young and you got burnt and it got into your head that burning is painful and you do not want to get burnt, you will be insanely careful. Or the converse can also be true. If you were cooking with your mom or whoever it is and you happen to cut yourself and burn yourself, and they say that all these things happen in the kitchen and it's okay to get burnt once in a while, that just shows you're working, blah blah blah, you will subconsciously have a pattern of cutting yourself or burning yourself. You're not doing this intentionally. You're not trying to harm yourself in any way. It just happens. It just happens. And that's what is a trauma is an extreme event of this. This is the way people normally function. Now, can you do anything about this? Yes. The main thing required here is awareness. All you have to do is start paying attention to all of your behaviors and patterns and see if you picked it up from somewhere or created it from somewhere and using it as a solution to a problem. It might not be the best solution, but it is a solution which works. It might not work all the time either. Okay? It might not work all the time, but it is a solution it is a behavior which has given you a solution in the past. That's what it is. Now, once you become aware of this, what you can do is learn a new way of dealing with the same situation. This is not new either. We keep doing this all the time. We keep learning on a daily basis. The only difference is we pay attention to the area where we learn. In these behaviors, we have not directed our awareness to these areas. That's it. That's all it is. All you have to do is sit and practice. Practice it before you actually implement that behavior. For example, let's go back to the classic dog fear example. All you have to do is close your eyes, decide on a new behavior, close your eyes, imagine you are with a bunch of dogs and implement that new behavior in your imagination. That is practice. That's all it requires. That's all it is. This can greatly help you to get rid of traumatic lessons from the past. What's happened in the past is something we cannot change. But the unfortunate bad lessons we have learned in the past might be causing us issues in the present, and it will be very beneficial for us to work on those patterns of behavior and change it so that we can lead a happier and a more peaceful life, a better life. So I hope this has helped you. Hope this has brought some clarity. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll respond to that. And if you like the contents of this channel, please subscribe. And if you have any topics that you want to discuss in the future, you want me to make videos about it, please again leave it in the comment section below and I'll get to work on that. Thank you. Take care.